LaTroy, what was that right there? That was the female baseball version of this, huh?
Right, that was the breakthrough series for the young ladies, and Veronica Alvarez is the head coach over there. She does the same thing as Jerry Manuel, and when you with Veronica, it's always a great time, and she's an incredible teacher also.
You're serious about all this youth baseball and softball stuff, too. You're all in.
Well, you have to be, because I didn't get this type of instruction when I was that age, and they say when you grow up, you be to other kids what you needed when you're that age, and that's what I try to do.
I mean, what is the lesson that you could teach them about? I mean, you drafted back in 1990, 21 seasons.
He making sound
21
way
seasons.
Back
no,
then.
yeah, way back then. I don't know where I was in 1990, but 1990, 21 seasons in the big leagues. What is the secret to longevity? I know that's a simple answer, Troy.
It's not that simple, but you have to be able to adjust and and go with the times. And I was able to. Early in my career, I was a starter. My delivery is off, didn't have certain pitches. I was able to, over the years, develop a different delivery, different arm slot, different pitches, and staying healthy is definitely a key. I was able to stay healthy until 2010. I had shoulder surgery, but that's what you have to do. Make adjustments. You have to make adjustments.
He's throwing 100 miles an hour, too. And LaTroy, we talk about 99, 100, 95, all that now with pitchers, but you did the velocity and went depth. So what's the key? Because now it's like, okay, go out, throw 100 as hard as you can for 3 hitters, and we're good with that. But you would reach back, save it for when you needed it. You were a starter at one point, going deep in games, and you went to closing games out.
Well, I think every pitcher is different. I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to have, a little extra life on my fastball. So I can make the ball sink, or I can, throw a really good four seam with some high spin rate. And when you're able to do both, you can save a little bit in your tank. That was the problem when I was starting. I always tried to save some in my tank and never got to use it.
What would you say, at this point, how much, I mean, to kind of feed off of what Harold was talking about, how much have pitching philosophies changed as far as what you're teaching kids now coming up? Is it still just pitching, or is it a significant change that you're trying to teach to the young generation?
Well, we say that, when you start using Rapsodo and TrackMan, the pitching part and the pitching development is a lot further along than the hitting part. But you can teach guys how to spin the ball. You can teach them pitch development and things like that. Things that I didn't have early in my career, and you didn't have in yours either. But you can tell, hey, this is the slider we're looking for. You can do the slow motion camera, grips, and all those good things. So I think technology has helped pitching a lot more than it's helped hitting at this day and age.
You've been here long enough to have worked with Hunter Green. You've watched Cam Johnson, who's coming on, different guys. But LaTroy, we only have, I think, 14 black pitchers, starters in the big leagues. Maybe just pitchers. I'm not even sure if it's even starters. Why is there so few of black kids pitching at the high levels?
We answer this question every year. Being a pitcher is not a glamorous job to kids. They want to play shortstop. They want to hit. They want to play center field. They want to hit. And when you're outside working with your kid when you were young, I'm sure both of you guys, your dad, mom put a ball in your head, a bat. Which one did you pick up first? You picked the bat. You wanted to hit. Everybody wants to hit. So I think that's the flair that our kids that look like us, they gravitate towards. But I always tell black pitchers, hey, you can make a lot of money pitching. And you know what? It's almost like the quarterback situation. I'm a control freak. I'm all about control. So being on the pitcher's mound was perfect for me because nothing happened until I made it happen.
Are you shocked at the salaries of the pitchers now? I mean, we're talking some big league pitchers who get $50 million a year.
I love it. I love it. Make all the money you can.
Are you surprised that it's gone to that level or no?
No, because the generation before me, they made a certain amount of money. Then I made more money than they did. Yeah. And this generation make more money than I did. And you know what? It's all about the game. The game's making money. Yeah. You have to pay the guys on the field because that's who the fans come to see.
I'm specifically looking at like the pitching though. So it's not a surprise. Pitchers have always been paid at that premium price, whether it was back in 1980 or now, right? Am I right with that?
You're right. You're right.
But I think they're fewer and far between of the true starters, and the true starters that you're seeing are getting the big bucks just because it seems like they're more limited now.
Right. They're able to go out there and pitch past that sixth inning. They're able to go over 100 pitches. They're going to still give you close to 200 innings a season. So when you have guys that can consistently do that, you pay them. But the other guys who are, 4 or 5 innings, they don't make as much.
So how do pitchers, because a lot of organizations are not allowing guys to go 5 innings. You know, they're good with 5 innings. You're not going 7. You're only getting 100 pitches, things like that. Do the pitchers as a group need to push back on that to go deeper? Or is the game going to force front offices to realize we can't get through a 162-game season unless our starters go deeper, which will happen?
Well, for us in Minnesota, in 2022, our starters didn't go nearly as deep in games. Definitely didn't have a successful season because it puts too much pressure on the bullpen day in and day out to be consistently good. Last year, we were able to have some starters that were able to go deep in the game with Lopez and Sonny Gray and a few other guys. So getting them to 6 and 7, that limits your bullpen usage. So those guys are a lot fresher when they come out, when they get the opportunity to come out there and win a ball game. So, you know, pitching wins championships. I know we talk about the long ball and this and that, but when it's all said and done, pitching and defense win championships.
Man, this is why you need to continue to have players in clubhouses and players with coaching staffs, in front offices, in every position, all the way up to the GM position, because the type of knowledge that you're bringing, I think, leads to winning championships. I think Chris Young just showed a great example in Texas on how a player and a former pitcher, that mentality can lead to winning championships. So I appreciate you being out here, being a part of this series. We talked to Jerry earlier about the importance of that next generation being here to continue to pass that knowledge down. So is that why you choose to be here at these type of events and be a part of the Breakthrough Series and every other development program
it is
MLB has going on?
It is because when growing up in Gary, Indiana, shout out to the 219, I played with kids that look like me. But once I left, I didn't have that opportunity. And over the course of the years when I was playing, I still, you know, went out and watched my nephews play a little bit of select baseball, travel baseball, and it was something that was glaring. They didn't look like the other kids on their team. They didn't look like other kids on the other teams. And for Rob Manfred and Tony Regans and Dale Matthews to put this together where kids can come out, have an opportunity to be seen by college coaches and scouts and get some of the best instruction, it's only going to enrich their lives more.
No doubt. LaTroy, thank you, man, for the knowledge. Appreciate it. From the 219 to the freezing 602.